Sunday morning, and the continuing dull weather belied the excitement lined up on the track. The crowds streamed in to fill the grandstands and the funfair. 90,000 people attending the 3 days of the festival, and all of them rewarded with some great racing from some fabulous cars. Nigel Mansell accepted an invitation to try another Lotus, Peter Radcliffe's 98T.
I mean, the thing was, the car took about 2 laps to warm up, and then I didn't see the checkered flag, Murray. I'm sorry, mate. I'll probably get fined again, but I did that extra lap because it was really sensational. The car felt really, really good, and I know now why Ayrton went so quick in it.
Yeah, apparently this is the car he won 7 races in. How did it compare with the Lotuses that you drove?
This is the best one from the point of view of handling. Really enjoyed driving it. Just that last lap, I went through the corners a little bit quicker. The fabulous thing was that I caught up some of the older Formula One cars, and I mean the evolution, following them round and waiting to overtake on the right side, so I didn't want to upset anybody. That last lap, I was in the groove. Anyone that saw me come under church and through the infield here, I'm ready to go. I just wish there was a race I could race in today.
Well, we all wish there was. Thanks a lot.
The cars making their way back up towards the grid for a restart to the Maserati UK pre-1961 Grand Prix car race. This is the reason why Colin Cowderidge Cooper rolled at Copse, spat the driver out, although he was okay and rushed off to join the medics. The car is going to need an awful lot of TLC. The restart, though, about to get underway. Is over 7 laps the restarted race. The lights go to green, and a great start there. Right up against the pit wall by the Lotus 16, the ex-Graham Hill car of Philip Walker diving through into the lead. He's being chased hard though as they go down towards Copse Corner by Willie Green there in the Ferrari 246 Robin Lodge's car. Willie Green swings his way through in second place. Nigel Corner third as this field now accelerates its way up towards Maggotts, then Beckett's for the first time. So it's Britain versus Italy, Lotus versus Ferrari, with Philip Walker in the lead. Going up into second place though now is Nigel Corner, number 52, and Willie Green right up behind him. So the top 3 try to edge clear. The cigar-shaped Lotus in the lead as Philip Walker runs very, very wide there, coming through Beckett's, and Nigel Corner right with him. The Ferrari Dino V12, a car that in V6 trim, were driven by Phil Hill, did score a win many years ago, but now in V12 trim he's going to be much more powerful in a straight line. Nigel Corner goes one way, Willie Green goes the other. The 2 Ferraris move ahead of the Lotus and stay side by side, even down to Stowe. Can Willie Green go right round the outside? No, he can't. He's going to have to tuck back in behind. Glorious noise from the Ferrari engines then as they power their way down towards Club Corner. In the lead at the moment, Nigel Corner. Right with him in second place, Willie Green. And there off in the gravel is Duncan Sutton in the HWM Alta. He's okay, the car's okay. He's ingested a fair amount of gravel, and here you can see how he did it. Runs too wide coming into Stowe. Slithers across a little strip of grass there into the gravel. Over the line goes the next little battle, including Maserati 250F and also the Connaught at the back of this group. You'll see it in a moment, the yellow Connaught being driven by the redoubtable Barry Williams. They're going off, it's Flavien Marseille across the gravel. He's going to be able to get back on the second, I think, in the Ferrari, as they're coming into the pit lane is Philip Walker. Erstwhile leader, now out of the race. The leader, though, now is Nigel Corner. There, in second place, is the American driver Don Orozco in the Scarab Offenhauser. Now, when last Reventlows cars ran 2.5 litre engines, they weren't that powerful. That one has a 3 litre engine and goes very well, as Barry Williams there, number 14, goes through, gains a place in the Equipe Nationale Belge Connaught A-Type. He's ahead of the toothpaste tube Connaught there as well, you'll see, as they accelerate now on up towards Abbey. Michael Steele just dropping behind him. Sawing away at the wheel, though, is Nigel Corner, and look, he's being reeled in now by Don Orozco. Over the line they come. The Reventlows Scarab Offenhauser powering its way through a car, really set up for the ovals, but going very well now on long circuits, catching up to Nigel Corner, diving down in towards Copse Corner. Nigel's father Neil, a very successful ex-historic single-seater racer, and as they turn their way now up towards Maggotts, it is just Nigel Corner ahead of Don Orozco. Maserati 250F battle though going over the line, including Burkhard von Schenk, and right up behind him is Joachim Fuchs-Rossignol having another outing in something very different from the Lotus this time. They've got Barry Wizzo Williams right behind them. Look, Wizzo hunched over the wheel, his familiar orange helmet sticking out of the top of the Equipe Nationale Belge Connaught, and he's closing up all the while. The German driver, Burkhard von Schenk, then swings his way towards us, and looking for a way past Joachim Fuchs-Rossignol is Barry Williams. They're together, turning their way out of Beckett's. There is the race leader, though, a win beckons for Nigel Corner. He's driven majestically over the last 7 laps, turning his way now through Brooklands, gets back on the pad. A little bit of correction, though, needed there. checks the car once again, turns his way into a rather slippery Luffield. You'll see that cement dust put down to soak up liquid spilled earlier on in the day. And now Nigel Corner powers his way up towards the line. Great looking car, great sounding car, even time there to thank the back marker for getting out of his way. Nigel Corner wins the pre-1961 Grand Prix car race, being chased home by Donna Roscoe. Look at this, almost free and press coming into Brooklands. Barry Williams goes around the outside of Joachim Folsch and Burkhard von Schenk. Von Schenk goes wide, Folsch Rossendahl gets ahead of the pair of them. Wizzo then in the yellow Connaught looking to go around the outside as they turn their way now up in towards Luffield. And Rob Lamflow is right there as well in his BRM. Von Schenk sideways, Folsch Rossendahl slides as well as they come out of Luffield. The German driver goes ahead of the Spaniard. Then Barry Williams in the yellow Connaught as they come up towards the line. Von Schenk will take fourth. Fifth is Folsch Rossendahl, sixth is Barry Williams, and seventh, almost on the grass there, Rob Lamflow. What a battle that was. A great race, won by Nigel Corner, just 2 seconds clear of Donna Roscoe, Willie Green third, and then the battle between Von Schenk, Folsch Rossendahl and Williams resolves itself with the German in fourth place, but Nigel Corner, the race winner.
Jackie Stewart reacquainted himself with the Tyrrell 003 that he drove to 6 wins in 1971 to claim his second world title.
This car apparently has won more Grand Prix races than any car in the history of the sport.
Yeah.
8
Yeah.
in total, 8 Grand Prix victories. And as you know, in Formula One racing today, we change the chassis regularly. This is the original tub, the original chassis. It's never raced in a historic event, so it's really an original car. And it's amazing how well balanced it is after all these years.
Now, age withers us all a bit, but you weren't half lamping round. Did you feel at all rusty?
Oh no, I mean I had been given such a lecture by Ken Tyrrell that I was given one of his famous froth jobs, that if I put any severe lateral G on it, or I did any severe braking, just because he was sensitive about the components, and he was right to be so, and that's what I did. I didn't go around any corners very quickly, and I didn't do any heavy braking, so the car just felt so good. I mean, it's a bit like riding a bike, Murray. It's like you and a microphone, they're never far apart.
He's so well known, and he's one of these faces and a voice that people recognize worldwide. People that win that many races and win world champions is not because they're not good drivers.
Sir Jack Brabham drove a Cooper at Coys, but all the Brabhams competing in the races were testament to his successful transition to building his own cars. So which time did he enjoy most, winning with a Cooper or in one of his own?
Well, we had pretty good years that we enjoyed. The first one actually was 1960, when we went and beat all the Ferraris at Reims and all the places they said we wouldn't beat them. And then I was able to go and do it again, 1966, with our own car. So I had 2 really good goes.
In '57 he was joined at Cooper by the ace jester Roy Salvadori, so how did he cope then?
Well, I came over here from Australia, of course, and met Roy. And I was the innocent little boy when I arrived here, and Salvadori taught me everything.
Motor racing was much more laid back in those days. There was much more fun about it, wasn't there? I mean, people like Terry Brooks would find they got no overalls when they got to a meeting and things like that.
Well, no, it was fun, but you were more relaxed. You didn't have the duties that the present-day drivers have. I mean, it's completely different. You didn't have sponsors that gave you a schedule for every sort of hour of the day. I rather sympathise. I think they work harder today, the Grand Prix drivers, than we did in our years, where we drove absolutely everything.
Do you think that's because you used to drive for Bernie Ecclestone that he's now realises how to make drivers work hard?
Well, Bernie was good. He used to buy cars. He bought a couple of Connaughts, and he sent Stuart Lewis Evans and myself to New Zealand and Australia to race these cars, but the instructions to Stuart Lewis Evans was, look, don't bring the cars back, sell them, you see. And he didn't seem to be much of a salesman, our little friend. He then decided that he'd sold one. He said, yes, I've sold one. So I said, well, how much did you make? He said, well, it could have made a lot of money. I said, what do you mean could have made? He said, well, I've taken a stamp collection in exchange for the car. I said, look, if I were you, I think I'd telephone Bernie.
What did Bernie say?
I can't, nobody's ever told me to this day, but I'd love to have a recording of the conversation. The next day, there was no deal. The deal didn't happen.
Ladies and gentlemen, fasten your seatbelts.